Write down every task you repeat this week. Half of them can run themselves, and I'll show you how to find which half in about 2 minutes. It's called the 222 test. Does the task take more than 2 minutes? Do you do it more than twice a week? Has the way you do it stayed the same for 2 months? Anything that passes all three is an automation candidate because it's frequent enough to matter, stable enough to script, and long enough to be worth the setup. Most people automate the wrong things first. The fun, complicated stuff, and burn out before they save a single hour. The boring, stable, repetitive stuff is where the hours actually hide. The weekly status email, the meeting notes cleanup, renaming files, drafting the same 3 replies. By the end of this video, you'll have your own list ranked, and you'll know exactly which of 3 automation tiers each task belongs in. The third tier runs entirely without you, but you should almost never start there, and I'll explain why at the end. Tier 1 is embarrassingly simple and is where the fastest wins live, the reusable prompt. Take a task you repeat, say turning messy meeting notes into a clean summary with action items. Write one great prompt for it once, with the format spelled out and an example pasted in. Save it in a notes app, a text expander, or as a saved snippet. From now on, the task is paste notes, paste prompt, done in 30 seconds. That's it. No tools to buy, no accounts to connect, no code. The trick that separates a good, reusable prompt from a bad one is a fixed output format. Literally write out the skeleton you want, with headings and bullet placeholders, so every run comes out identical and you never reformat. Good candidates for Tier 1, summaries, first draft replies, rewriting text for different audiences, extracting data from pasted text, translating tone. If you do a task by pasting something into a chat window today, Tier 1 probably cuts it by more than half. Build 3 of these this week before you touch anything fancier. Tier 2 is where automation starts running without you pressing a button every time it chains. A chain connects a trigger in one app to an AI step and then to an action in another app. The classic pattern, when a form response arrives, have AI summarize and categorize it, then post a summary to your team chat and add a row to your spreadsheet. Platforms like Zapier and Make exist exactly for this, and most modern AI tools plug into them directly. The 3 chains that pay for themselves almost anywhere: inbox triage, where incoming email gets labeled, and the obvious ones get a drafted reply for your review; content repurposing, where one finished document automatically becomes a summary, a social post, and an archive entry; and data entry, where anything structured in an email form lands in your spreadsheet without you touching it. Start with exactly 1 chain, run it alongside your manual process for a week, and compare outputs before you trust it. Chains fail quietly, which is precisely why Tier 3 has a rule attached. Tier 3 is full autopilot, workflows that run on a schedule, make decisions, and finish without any human in the loop. Tempting, and this is where people get burned, so here's the seatbelt rule: nothing goes fully hands-off until it has run supervised for 2 weeks with 0 surprises. The failure mode isn't dramatic, it's quiet. The automation sends a slightly wrong email 40 times before anyone notices, or files things into the wrong folder for a month. So promote tasks gradually, Tier 1 until the prompt is stable, Tier 2 with you reviewing outputs, and only then Tier 3, and even then, add a daily or weekly digest so the system reports what it did. Quick mid-video checkpoint: you've got the 222 test, reusable prompts for the instant wins, and chains for the recurring flows. The last section covers the honest math, what this actually costs in time and money, and the one category of tasks you should never automate no matter how tempting it looks. Let's do the honest math. Nobody does before automating. Setup time is real. A good reusable prompt costs you 15 minutes. A reliable chain costs an evening including testing. A trustworthy hands-off workflow costs a weekend by the time you've handled the edge cases. So the payback question is simple. Minutes saved per week times weeks you'll keep doing the task versus setup cost. A daily 5-minute task pays back an evening of setup in about a month, worth it. A monthly 10-minute task never pays back a weekend. Skip it or keep it at Tier 1. Money-wise, you can get shockingly far on free tiers, chat tools for tier 1, and the free plans of automation platforms usually cover a few hundred runs a month, which is plenty to prove value before paying. The tasks that should stay manual, anything where an error is expensive or personal, final sense to important clients, anything involving money movement, performance feedback, apologies, automate the drafting, keep the sending. That single boundary prevents nearly every automation horror story. Here's your 1-week plan, and it's deliberately small. Today, run the 222 test, write your list, aim for 10 tasks, rank them by minutes per week. Day 2, build reusable prompts for your top 3 tier 1 tasks and save them where they're 1 keystroke away. Days 3 and 4, pick exactly 1 chain. Inbox triage is the usual winner. Build it and run it in review mode. Day 5, do nothing new, just use what you built and note what breaks. Weekend, fix the rough edges and only then decide if anything earns a promotion to what hands off. That's maybe 3 focused hours total, and for most people, it permanently returns several hours every single week after. The compounding is the point. Every week, the saved hours fund the next automation. If this was useful, subscribe. The next video builds the inbox triage chain step by step, screen by screen on the free tier. And tell me in the comments, what's the most boring task on your list? I read them all, and the most common answer becomes the next tutorial.